Now you can hear me. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry that unplugged. All right. Oh, we are not a professional recording studio, obviously. I don't know if you heard me at the beginning or not. Yeah, it should be working now. Yay? Are we back? Can you hear me? Because the mic is turned on and OBS showed sound. So, I got my Diet Coke. And, yeah, I don't know if you heard me before, but Tim, thanks for enduring the ads. It's, you know, I don't make much money from YouTube, but it's a little bit. So if you guys can endure the ads, it helps me out. And so this was Tim Daughtry's idea on Tuesday, was to talk about Arizona and some general areas that are good to shoot and hot spots and stuff. And so I'm going to go over some general stuff. I'm not gonna get super specific. Now I don't want to I hate to go, hey you guys, for more information go here. But I do have a Patreon page where people can support me over there. And I try to post more detailed tutorials, exactly how to do things. Kind of posting a video of my favorite actual locations to shoot in Arizona, down to a road or a bridge or something. I'm a little bit not wanting to put that out there for the world, if that makes sense. But I will be doing a tutorial, or I will be doing a video on Patreon that has a little bit more specific locations for those people that support me there, because I just don't want it to. I don't want to share, I guess, all my best spots and locations just for anybody, because there's a lot of people in Arizona. So, if that makes sense, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I have no idea if clicking on ads gives me more revenue. Honestly, I literally have no idea. It's like a couple $100 every month or two. So, being totally honest, and it's not a big deal. It's just a little extra, income from lots of various places. I try to. One of my philosophies as a photographer, because I like storms and I also like shooting weddings and people, is I've tried to diversify my portfolio, or what I do, as much as I can, so, kind of have a Patreon page, have YouTube, sell prints, do licensing, do workshops, do tours, do weddings, do family photography, and things like that. So I'm also going to be, during this time when people can't really do anything, I'm probably going to be doing some online, one-on-one kind of workshops with people. Someone emailed me just yesterday about that, wanting to learn how to time-lapse better for a documentary he's working on. So I'm going to be kind of helping him online, like a one-on-one kind of workshop thing. So hopefully that makes sense. If you guys, there should be a link there should have been a link in the description of this for my Patreon page. But I couldn't get it to save because there were issues. So if you went to patreon.com/Mike Olbinski, you will find it. So I do have lots of tutorials over there. Some of them that aren't posted on YouTube, although they all eventually get to YouTube, so you will see them eventually. It's just months and months later. So what I want to do today was just kind of go over a little bit for 45 minutes here. So some of my favorite places in Arizona and kind of how they work, kind of the patterns. And I wish I had more prep with in regards to kind of how weather systems work, or the general patterns in Arizona that cause dust storms and stuff like that, to kind of really show you. But I'm going to go with 2018, because 2018 was a really good year for at least dust storms. And so I can kind of talk a little bit about that. So this is Phoenix right here in the middle, and Phoenix is where I live, and it's kind of where, there's no link in description. I tried to save it there, but it didn't save. I don't know if there's a way to change it. Let me see if I can save it real quick, and then you guys can, if you need to reload it. For you awesome people there. See if it'll save now, and if you need it, you can reload it. So I'm based out of Phoenix, so for me, I chase anywhere in the state. My favorite general area to chase, if I were to pick, is pretty much kind of like this north of Phoenix all the way southern Arizona. This is like the hotbed. So in a broad scheme of kind of overlooking kind of how the monsoon works, moisture comes up from the Baja, the Gulf of California, from Mexico. It streams into Arizona, and storms will generally, as we get closer to July, storms start getting closer and closer to Arizona. Like the monsoon kicks off at different times for different kind of regions. So storms in Mexico, as it gets into June, and later in June, the storms start getting closer to Arizona. In very late June, the storms can start firing down here in the very extreme southeast part of Arizona. Then you get into July, storms start spreading up here and a little further on. And then northern Arizona and all of Arizona gets it, and then it gets into Utah and even Colorado and stuff like that, and California, of course, and Nevada. So when I'm chasing early in the year, I mean, I can go down here generally, even end of June, early July, and sometimes there's stuff to chase. So southeastern Arizona, this little area, Tohono O'odham, north of Tucson, all the way out here, this circular area, if you can kind of see where my mouse is, this is like the prime location for the monsoon, where you're going to get the most action. I mean, like these places down here, this is Douglas, that you can't read, but this is Douglas, Sonoyta, Sierra Vista. They get so much more rain than other places get because storms just fire over. All these little like green areas and stuff are mountains. There's just mountains. They call them the Sky Islands. So the storms help, or the mountains help form the storms from orographic lift, and then the storms move off and create more storms, and that's kind of how they form. So the monsoon with all these mountains down here is very, very, and all the moisture streaming up, very, very, very active. That's why when I do workshops in July and August, we base out of Tucson, because that way we are able to, even if the monsoon is really bad like last year, when I was doing these, there were still some storms down here, even though the rest of the state was dead. Flagstaff last year up north had its lowest monsoon rain total like in history. So even though there was hardly anything up here and Phoenix was quite dead for most of it, I was still able to chase some storms down here because this is the hotbed. So if you're looking to chase out here and kind of get going on it, and you can do like a trip or something, then going to Tucson, staying there, or finding some little rental in like Benson or whatever. But this is kind of a good focal area. The San Pedro River, is that? That's not this, is it? So you said a San Pedro, and I know a river flows through here, and I'm drawing a blank now. Why it won't show up on this map? That's right. I mean, that should be it. Why won't the name show up? It's kind of crazy. It's a pretty important river, so I don't know why it's but anyway, that river flows into Arizona. It's pretty crazy, from Mexico. So I'm surprised that a name of it doesn't pop up on this thing. I don't get it. Okay, so regardless, south of Benson. Yeah, that river is great. So to me, there's some really cool spots down here. Some just general area. These my favorite area out here is this Wilcox, Cochise, Sun Sites. This general area out here is extremely fun. Okay, it's extremely great. The Chiricahua Mountains here. I don't know what it is about the Chiricahuas, but they attract lightning like no one's business. Here, these are the Chiricahuas last year. So this is generally, I was around, I guess over here off of some, overpass, probably near Bowie, shooting towards these mountains, and these mountains attract lightning like crazy. Let's see if this will let me. It's taking me to the wrong place because that's. Let's see here, 7/20/2018. I'm gonna go further down. That's right. But regardless, I'm not gonna go show everything. But these Chiricahuas they attract lightning big time. All right, so anytime like I see a storm over the Chiricahuas, I'm usually really excited. Trying to see if I have any more from last year out there. In that general area, I mean, here's another photo from, although I like the color one better. This is from near sun sites right around, I think I was down here by sunny Zona, Elfrida area shooting northwest. This area over here is just wonderful. The really cool part about this whole area is, look at all these like flat farms. It's almost a little like shooting in Kansas in some of these places. There's one corner here, and maybe this is it. Yeah, zoom right in on it. Look at these silos. I mean, if this doesn't look like Kansas with all these farms around it, you know, I don't know what does out here. So there's a lot of, I mean, there's some places hard to pull over, but there's a lot of open areas where you can shoot across towards these mountains. You can shoot here. Here's a dry lake bed. If you can find your way out here, I've shot across this lake. It's great, which is not really a lake, a dry lake bed. But this is the kind of lightning that you get out there. I don't know why. It just seems like it's a little more intense than other places. For example, we were out there in a bad year last year, a bad workshop. These are the Chiricahuas again. Still got lightning going ballistic over that area. So it was, and it kind of went. I think it went. Was that the same night? No, but it kind of went for a while. So yeah. So these Chiricahuas attract a ton of lightning. So this is like my favorite area. Safford is also a hotbed, and if you start to get to know the patterns, there's mountains out here. These are the White Mountains, and you'll see storms build off these White Mountains, outflow boundaries, come out of New Mexico and push down, and you'll get storms that they always seem to make it to Safford. They come off these mountains and they go nuts, and the lightning in this area, let me see if I have something from out there that year. I think it was 2 years ago. This was just a night where there is, this is Safford way out there, and this was the exact same thing. You know what? It was different. It came from a different direction, which is the one, I had a good storm out there one year where it rolled off, but I'm probably not going to be able to remember exactly. I think it was this year. Possibly. But yeah, here was like this storm. This was rolling off of. You can see here's Safford out here. These lights, and you can see these clouds are drifting this way. This was a lightning bolt hitting out here. This whole area was getting peppered. Here's another. This was right around here, Dragoon Mountains. All right, and another bolt just peppering it. So this place it's great. So you see storms coming off here out of New Mexico, rolling to Safford. This is a real tough area to shoot. I have discovered there's this. I think it's this road. It doesn't look right though. There's a. Maybe it's one of these, but there's a road out here. Maybe it's this one or something. But there's some roads that go out across this desert, and it definitely one is really nice. Let me see if it'll show up on Google Maps a little better because it's a decent. Oh, I think it's this one. Whatever this is, Tonke Road. It goes like this, and it goes out here. There's some flat spots to shoot to the north, but once you get closer to here, is a little more populated, more towns, power lines, and fences, and it's a little tough. In town, you can find lots of farms. We've shot lightning from around this area, and I think that was that 2016, and it was, if I can find it, it was a great show out there. And I'm probably, let's see if it was 2017. What are these dates? Nope. 2018 maybe? Can't imagine. But anyway, we had a great storm roll off there again. I was trying to find where we were shooting off of the like the farms out there. I know where my workshops are, and so it's these are kind of tough to find after a little bit. Was it this one? No. Man, I can't. 2015. Man, the years fly by, and so yeah, I know Terremos. So let me see. I'm just trying to figure out if I remembered when we were out there with a workshop, but either I just don't have it in the correct gallery, and that's just the way it goes. So, but anyway, it's wonderful out there, and I really wish I could find that picture or the pictures I want to show from that storm, but it's somewhere. So this area is great. It's a good hotbed. Southeastern Arizona is going to be the place. Like if you want to do a trip, that's where you want to go. Is you want to come out here. So obviously this is Tucson. Mount Lemmon gets destroyed by lightning all the time. If you can find areas around here to shoot, it's great. Moving further, I mean, all this, there's a little spot here with these rincons. That's great. If you can find some spots here to shoot. Again, I'm going to do another video with very specific locations and stuff for my Patreon page. So check that out. It should be, it's on the link now, so you should be able to get it. So if you move a little further west of Tucson, this area also gets very, very cool storms, and I would say it's very underrated and very, I would say like kind of a little less known. Here's 2017. This is near Santa Rosa area, which is around here, and this looks like a supercell and probably was rotating a little bit. There's definitely hail falling. It turned into a big monster storm that kicked up a haboob that went all the way here to like Organ Pipe. And if you've never been to Organ Pipe, it is a stunning, stunning area. I mean, these mountains and the cactus and everything are fantastic. Now you're almost to Mexico when you're down here, so it's a little bit, it's a little bit far for people. It's quite a drive, and you got to be careful because this is all an Indian reservation, Tohono O'odham, unless you're out here by Organ Pipe, and so you can't venture really far off the roads without them coming up and saying, you probably can't be here. They are pretty nice. The Gila River Indian Reservation, they are a lot more strict, and they will fine you for being on their land. So I try to be respectful and not really go down dirt roads far. I don't want to treat it like it's my land. It's theirs. I try to just find little pullouts and little areas that I can get a couple shots without off-roading too much or down too many dirt roads. I mean, these photos are caught right off a road, and this is Organ Pipe, so that one's fine. And this was just down a dirt road, and there was a border patrol kind of near me. I've gotten a good time-lapse Mount Lemmon. Let me see if I can find it, 'cause I swear to God, I just saw it somewhere. Yeah, so this is... I was up on the Mount Lemmon overlook, so this is overlooking Tucson and a distant lightning storm, and I was up there for like an hour and a half, and I was really hoping this was going to come right across town and I was going to score, but it didn't. So the hard part for me is that's a really good idea. The overlooked Mount Lemmon, any of those, wonderful, but it's hard for me to go up there because that is basically, you're deciding you're going up on Mount Lemmon and that's all you're going to do, because going up there you got to drive all the way through Tucson, and you got to drive all the way up there, and chasing a storm from there, you might as well you've missed out on everything. So I need to try to do it again, because that night was pretty fun, and it was a really cool time lapse. Let's see if I can. I guess I only have one shot from that night. I don't know why. That's strange. Maybe because everything was a time lapse. That's probably what happened. This was another night at Chiricahua. So, trading better weed and tobacco. There's some flat areas out here, a little bit further west along here that you can shoot. This area gets really tricky, but sometimes, let's see, if it was 2018, sometimes you have to work with what you got. And I'm trying to find my Stranger Things photo. Was it 2017? Man, I tell you, the years go by so fast, and I just don't remember half the stuff that I shoot. It had to be 2018. I think I just go through this. Yeah, here it is. So, we were out there in Tohono O'odham area, not that one. And, I'm out somewhere over here, and all these mountains were between, like, this point, right? You can see this mountain range right here. So I literally had to wait till we got out of the mountains before I could turn around and try to do any kind of photo. And luckily got a really cool Stranger Things monster out in the distance. But the other time we were shooting, I think that was somewhere around here on some road. I was just off the shoulder. Once again, I try not to do too much. It's not a bad shot. I mean, because look at it. It's freaking, I can see where it lands. There's all this saguaro in the distance getting lit up. But I am not a huge lover of stuff in my way, even though sometimes it's okay. And it's not too bad here because it can be really, really cool. I do have some shots with cactus and I like it. I'm just a little bit particular. I love being up high. I love, like, this shot. Being up high, looking down. Here, like, looking at a distance so I can see stuff. Here I'm up high. Here I'm up high. I like being able to see where things land. And so I'm really paranoid about that. So, here's another one where, we were kind of up high looking at the distance. So getting something, in the foreground, not too bad. I have a really fun shot from, well, I don't know if it's a fun shot, but it's a nice shot with cactus. And I thought it was this year, or this season, but it must have been 2017, I guess. Who knows me? I'm lost with my seasons and forgetting and remembering what I did. Because 2019, this wasn't bad. This one we had good dust storms, and was this? Yeah, this had to be the year that I had those ladies with me. So, oh yeah, right here. Anyway, here's one with no clean horizon. I had no choice, but the lightning is so awesome that it kind of didn't matter, right? But I still am like, this is so close to me. I bet I could have seen where that landed, and I could have seen where that landed if I was up a little high. So, regardless, this area is really good. There's a lot of good storms that happen out here. It's just hard to shoot. If you can get, pull off the highway here, you can try to get lightning hitting Kitt Peak. I have, there's some pullouts that look like, where's the one? Here. There's some pullouts overlooking Kitt Peak. No lightning, but my my computer's crazy. But you can see Kitt Peak right in here. So you pull off the edge of the road, there's some places where you can look right in these mountains and think about if you were getting lightning strike in there, how great it would be. So there's definitely areas you can pull out. It's just this area in here real tough to shoot. This road down here tough to shoot. So Oregon Pipe, there's some nice areas. In here there's some good views. Gila Bend. Now, I know someone just asked about suggestions for the Southwest. So this is really, really tough. This whole area out here is basically Barry Goldwater, airfield bombing range, blah, blah, blah. Everywhere you go where there's roads to the south, you're going to see signs that say, like, I don't know if this one will, yeah, so somewhere, yeah, I think there should be one right here. I don't know if it'll show, if I have, yeah, watch this. So you go here and then turn to the south, you'll see, well, unfortunately I can't just zoom into those signs. It's probably some like government thing where those signs can't even show up. Let's see if they'll let me go here. Yeah, well, they went down the road a little bit here, the sign says. So, well, these are not good resolution photos. But anyway, there you can see these signs here, and basically it says, do not proceed south. All of this is like a bombing range, and most of the place, like here you can actually go south, it says, but I think it's only authorized vehicles. In a lot of places you can't. So along here, shooting south is really tough. There's, you know, this place where Aztec, there's some farms you can pull over and try to find some areas in there. I have a super secret location that I found this year that I'm not telling anybody because I'm waiting, but it's south of the freeway and it's got 360-degree views everywhere. And west of Gila Bend, there's some good spots right here. All these farms you can pull over and shoot. I shoot a lot around this dairy. Sometimes like I've stopped here and got a dust storm coming across. But this area gets dust storms will blow down this way. So I'll show you. So 2018 was great, and a dust storm went right down I-8. This was starting on I-8. This is this is an overpass looking east, and then the dust storm kept going right down Interstate 8. And this happens more often than people think. And it's a certain pattern where strong storms have to come off the rim and roll through Phoenix, and they can push outflow boundaries right down I-8 all the way to Yuma. And so this storm went all the way to Yuma, basically. Well, it hit Yuma in the dark. So so it's hard to shoot along here, but there's a lot of there's some exits that you can run out. You know, you can get off the freeway and go north and shoot some of these places, and so. The north side is not so bad. North side, like Sentinel, you can pull off, go north, find some spots. It's the south side of the freeway that's really hard. But it seems like whenever I'm down there, the south side of the freeway is where everything's at. I've had a couple, I think maybe 2017 that I had, this was I-8 again, so another dust storm going down I-8, and the north side of the freeway actually had lightning and the dust and all that, and so that was a nice lucky break. But it seems like for the most part whenever I'm down there, it's always south. I think I found, well, I didn't find one, but this was near that Safford area. Yeah, this is that Safford storm. I don't know why I don't have more photos in this is what I was trying to show you earlier by Safford, how we were watching mountains north of Safford, and the lightning is peppering those mountains as it was rolling off that rim, and then the storms built right up over Safford, which was, so we had a storm build up right to our west, and we were like sitting on a farm, and it's kind of hard to see, but right here we're looking out across a farm into Safford, and the storm built up right over town and just went to work and just dropped lightning like crazy. And so that tends to happen more often than not. I do not know. I got to drop this one in there. I don't know why it's not. Oh, that's why, because I haven't done keywords and stuff. That makes sense, but now I'm going to put it there anyway. So, yeah, so this area is pretty cool. Another really crazy hotspot is this Quartzite Kofa area. This is to me, nothing bad's ever happened there, but I would say it's kind of treacherous. As you can see on this road, the washes going across this road are insane. Like there's like the rain rains on these mountains, and it washes across the road. And I have been on monster storms that have been pouring rain right over here, and we raced south. We shot some lightning, and by the time we raced north, there was rocks all across the road in various spots where flash floods had happened within 30 minutes of us being there. So this is a pretty sketchy area at night, and so if it's really raining hard on these mountains, you need to be careful that you don't get stuck, because this is kind of flat with lots of dips, and you don't want to get stuck at some low area when a flash flood comes in. So you've got to be particularly careful. But it's also another hotbed for intense lightning. Was it 2017 that I was out there? It was magnificent. Magnificent! I'm trying to conjure up that, whatever that movie. Yeah, so this was out, there that night, looking west, I believe. Nope, no, it's not there. I won't be able to find, I think this was it. Yeah, this was out, like generally here shooting west, and the kind of lightning out there was amazing. And you've got these mountains, and you've got some high views and stuff, so it's really, really nice out here. I'm going to go back to just talk about dust storms real quick. I saw Tim said something. Yeah, I'll talk about that real quick, Tim. So another thing just to know is, so dust storms will kind of push down I-8, but they also come up I-10 towards Phoenix. And they usually generally start around here by Picacho Peak, which is right here. They generally will form and they push towards Phoenix, either northwest or north, or sometimes they can form from outflows down here and go north into town or northeast. There's lots and lots of areas around here to scout and look for locations. This is so, look at all the farmland, so many flat areas around here, so much desert. I can't even count the number of cool spots that you can kind of find out that way. I'm trying to see, there's some older photos I have of like dust storms out there, but maybe it's earlier. But here's like a shot of a dust storm coming north of Casa Grande. Early on, was it 2011 that I got all this lightning, or 2012? Yeah, so this is looking over Casa Grande from like this 387 highway, where you can find some high points and you can just get lightning destroying the town. So this area, there's all kinds of stuff. Dust storms roll through. You can find somewhere to shoot. In between this 387 exit and like Riggs, this is Gila River, so it's a little bit, this is sketchier to pull over. And all this area too, this is all Gila River, and lots of storms and dust storms will go through here, so you're kind of at your own risk if you want to go out on like 87 and shoot. A little bit further south of this 287 down here is more just farms that aren't part of the Indian reservation, so you can shoot anywhere in here. And Florence, definitely. I see someone just mentioned Florence. It definitely gets destroyed constantly with good storms out here. So this area out here, the White Mountains, I'm not gonna go into like locations out here because I don't go out here too much, but the storms form out here middle of the day. A lot of times they'll roll off and you'll get big storms out here. But this area in general is really hard to find good overlooks and stuff. And it's very frustrating to me. Driving through from 60 through Superior, the top of the world, to Globe, is just so slow in here. Windy roads, slow traffic. This road to Ray Winkleman is fine, but you're in a deep valley most of the time. I mean, look at this. Look at these mountains and rocks. You're in like this deep valley, and you just have to get really lucky with a storm in the exact right place that you want it. So I tend to not go out this way, but if you can get out past Globe, out this way, then there's great views along this area to the north and to the south. So this area from Globe to Safford is pretty good, really great. And there can be lots of storms out there. It's just, if you're out here, then you're missing everything that happens out here, especially if a dust storm gets kicked up or something. And I'm always worried about missing something, so that's my problem. So Phoenix area, I know Tim asked about that. Four Peaks, there's really only a couple places to get good views out there that's close to the road, and one of them is this Bush Highway exit. You can see this dirt road kind of goes out here, and have lots of images. This is from that area overlooking the four. You know, here's you can see the four peaks. So here's here's like one of the roads going by. I was probably like right around here or something. Yeah, probably right around here. But you can overlook. You don't really see the freeway from here. The freeway's, I think, right there possibly, but it's really kind of hard to notice it. Yeah, globe. So so there are some high views to shoot. Stuff hitting the four peaks, trying to see where one. I had a decent shot out there a couple years ago, like in the morning. Was it 2015? Try to pull that up if I can. I feel like I do really good with maintaining these like collections, and then when I actually want to go find something, I realize I don't have everything in them. I just want to find one of the ones hitting the four peaks. I feel like I looked at this one already. Yep. It's probably like a different date. I probably don't have it in this quick collection. Oh, this is another view of shooting by Casa Grande. I mean, look at all the wide open spots in the desert that you can get stuff hitting Casa Grande. So I really wish I could find that morning's. I like the morning strike because my friend John Serlin was pissed at me for getting up early and being out there, and he didn't get it. And he was like, I can't believe I slept and let you get out there at sunrise. Oh, yeah, so this was that spot. So here you can see the four peaks here on the left, and probably from the same general location, got lightning. I never really gotten a good one hitting four peaks that was in focus. But then the sun came up and sunrise, and there was lightning out there. So if you're out here, this Bush Highway dirt road over here is really great. You can get stuff out in this Four Peaks wilderness, but I feel like you tend to have to drive more. And I'm trying to see if it's under that I have some pictures in my landscape folder of. Yeah, so like if I drove further along Four Peaks Road, like I found some good views overlooking the mountains there, but that's more like way out over, let's see, what are some of these roads at? It's kind of hard to see on this map. I can't remember everything. Maybe like it was over here or something. But you can find some views over there. It's just not as easy. Why am I so good at taking pictures? I don't know. That's a tough question to answer. I don't know. Obviously, I have a lot of experience. I've been doing this a long time. You can see, here's pictures from 2011, and I was doing this before that, just was not very good at it. These photos from 2010 are awful HDR pictures, and I really hate to even show you this stuff. But it takes a lot of work to do this, so you have to chase a lot. You have to learn, as I'm showing you, better places to be. Be in the right place at the right time. So that's really key. I'm showing you all my favorite places to shoot, and over the years I have learned where they are. I mean, there's a location out here in Overpass that I love, and all these mountains around this area but this little spot in here, west of Stanfield between Gila Bend, get some great storms. And last year I went there and I waited for 3 hours praying that the lightning would get close, and then it just went nuts. From the overpass lightning was going off in every direction. I knew exactly where to be to have up high angles on stuff to shoot in multiple directions, and I know where to be. So yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, what's funny is like some of my HDR stuff early wasn't bad. I don't like most of it, but like this shot of Grand Falls, this is HDR, and I feel like you'd have a hard time knowing. There's a little bit of a soft glow about it, but some people do that even now with their landscape photos, where there's a little bit of a glow. Tim, I don't even think I have any selective color. I luckily avoided that. But this is HDR, which I feel like you can kind of tell over here. I can really see some HDR in there. But this was, and I don't think it's that bad. This was an HDR shot. I don't think it's that bad. I think it actually looks pretty good. But the storm stuff with the HDR, oh my god! Like, this was a real popular print of mine. People used to buy this one a lot. This is just awful. I mean, I just can't even with that. This, I think, was that? Yeah, that was HDR. Just trash. This is a horrid. Oh my! I even put this one on this cactus on the cover of like my first photo book. So real bad. My first ever like chase in Nebraska. This was the first storm photo I ever took from chasing out on the plains, and it's HDR, and it's utter garbage. And that HDR did not last long. That was the only time I ever did it out there. So even like 2010 like ended my HDR. So after that, I started trying to just get better at editing. And 2011, not very good. Started getting better in 2012. So this was another thing I was going to tell you guys about, like the Casa Grande, south of Casa Grande area. I mean, here's wide open roads. Get the dust storms down there, desert, cracked earth. I mean, like it's really a cool area. And that whole area between, this is an overpass on I-10 by just south of Picacho Peak, and you can get up high and see stuff. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's horrible history. So, if I'm going out the Four Peaks, I'm generally, like I said, I'm looking for that area. Superstitions is... There's a spot that I don't mind telling you guys because everybody in the world knows about it, so I can be very specific. But this spot overlooking the Superstitions, which is called Shooter's Corner, everyone calls it that. It's Idaho and Lost Dutchman right here. I'm surprised there aren't cars pulled over in this Google Maps photo. Let me see what happens if I drag this here. But you can see the view. There's usually some car pulled over here looking this way. But in a storm, or if these things get full of snow or whatever, this place, there's always cars lined up here and people taking pictures. So very, very popular spot. And Jazeel, that's exactly right. And so that's why, if you ask why I was so good at this, that's why. Because I learned at the beginning I was really bad. If you can see like the kind of storm photos I was taking back then, I don't even have any lightning. I don't even know what I was looking at. Like this was a photo that I thought was good. Now I would never even take this picture. I would have walked out more over the field. This is boring. Like as you get better and as you learn how to edit better and as you learn how to chase better, you start, 2011 I started getting lightning strikes going, whoa, what happened? Like now I'm suddenly figuring out where lightning is and where to be and actually probably chasing further. And then some years the lightning has been tough, but and also I know I mentioned Tucson briefly, but there's like that A mountain in Tucson, so everybody goes up there. Everyone knows about that spot, but you can get great views of Tucson if you get lucky with a good storm. For the Realm. Okay. That's a game, I guess. First-person shooter. Or wait, For the Realm. I know what that is. Is that a game? I'm losing. I'm not remembering. So, there are some other places that you can scout around here to try to find. I think I've located another spot I want to try because I'm tired of Shooter's Corner, but it's a little bit too close to here, so it's kind of like in here somewhere. There's just dirt roads that go up in here, and if you can get lucky and find something, there's some good views down over the Superstitions. But in general, it's a little bit of a tough area to shoot, so it's something worth scouting. And obviously in Phoenix, in general, there's all kinds of stuff. There's the airport. My buddy Brian Schneider goes there, so I don't really go there. You can get up on the top of South Mountain, which is, I don't know why I'm... What is going on? Why am I super dumb right now? Oh, man, yeah. I was on the wrong one. So you can get on top of South Mountain, Dobbins overlooking. People have gotten great lightning shots. But that for me, I don't go up there very much because I don't like to specifically go somewhere and just be stuck there. If I wanted, this lightning shot I showed you with this road, and out there. I did go there specifically to wait for lightning to get closer to me. And I got there. This shot was at 12:50 in the morning, and you can see that when I got there, it was 12. But I think I was there. No, I was there sooner because it was midnight. So I was there at 11:19, and you can see I didn't even, like, none of these photos I even bothered to edit. But I was looking at lightning nearby, but I was like, I'm not going after it. I'm not going to get closer. I'm going to wait. And then I started trying to shoot. And then the bolt, I mean, this was a big bolt right behind me. Oh, my God. I'm still mad I missed that one. Look at that. I mean, that landed just off the screen here pretty close. So there were storms behind me, but I didn't go after them. I didn't reposition because I was waiting for my shot. And so here we are, 12:26, still waiting for that storm to try to get closer and closer. And so this was me being patient, going, I want this shot. I want this shot. Lightning started getting closer. And then finally it was the boom. The pièce de résistance or whatever. And some other horrible editing. And then another one that's really good. And then this is probably what, like, could be even my favorite of all of them because of just the one single boom, you know? So that was a night where I was very patient and waited for the storm to come to me. And so I could do that. I could go up the South Mountain and wait. All kinds of spots around town, too. You can probably get to Papago Park if you want to set up. There's the parking garage around here that I shoot at a lot. A Mountain in Tempe, if you can take the time to climb up there real fast. It's actually not that hard to get a little bit high real fast on that mountain. There's a closed parking lot. Fountain Hills. There's some spots. There's a spot over here that I don't really go to that's an overlook. And also Buckeye. Buckeye is freaking amazing. I don't even know how many things I've shot in Buckeye. Which was the one? Was it 2018 that I was there in the morning with my boy? We chased all night and ended up in Buckeye in the morning. It was magnificent. Oh, that's from Infinity War. Magnificent. Benicio del Toro. Buckeye is wonderful to shoot at, and I think this is the wrong year. Again, I'm pretty sure it was 2018. And yeah, so I chased all night, got to Buckeye in the morning, and the sun was coming up, and all this stuff is exploding around these mountains, which is Skyline Regional Park right here, and I was just shooting all this stuff in Buckeye. You can see this whole area. Look at all the farms. I mean, if you're looking for flat stuff, this is ideal right here. There's all kinds of little roads you can take and get wide open views. And also, I didn't talk about this too much, but between Quartzite and Buckeye, I-10 here, there's lots of good storms that can happen out here. Really, really, this area out here can be a hotbed as well. And all these little spots have pullovers. Was it Wintersburg? Yeah, Wintersburg last year was a great pullout with. I was shooting storms in all directions from here. I was shooting a storm down the freeway, like west from, place the camera right here on the edge. To the south, I was down here with a camera to the south. It was ridiculous. And all these storms, this is all along I-10 last year. This is out way by the Siloam Highway exit, which is over here. And then the storm started coming to us to the east, and so that's where this stuff started happening. And so this whole area there, it's really cool. It's a real hot spot for storms, especially I think later on in the monsoon, the storms start happening more out here. This area though, it gets a lot of rain, gets a lot of flash flooding. And I should let you know this highway here, 238 from Maricopa to Gila Bend. Anytime it rains around here, heavy, it's done. It's closed. Be careful. There are these washes that cross this road everywhere, and it's real bad. It's dippy. You'll see dead cows out there that die in the heat and stuff. It is a nightmare. It gets closed all the time. Look at this. I mean, look at all the washes crossing this. It's horrific. So we laugh every time there's a flash flood watching it closes it because you're like, yep, it's closed. What a surprise. I mean, I think everywhere you go, there's, look at, here's a wash right here, and it doesn't even look like a big dip. It's flat. So water can just race across and spread out. It's bad. So they close it all the time. And I've been on Salome Highway too a few times where it's almost been closed. And water, look at all, see this little area right here, all these washes flowing across the road, and it's relatively flat. You'd think, oh, nothing's gonna flood here. It's so flat, and then you drive out there and it's ridiculous. So, but I love flash flooding. It's cool. Wickenburg, I can talk about north stuff too, but I feel like I've been talking for a long time. Wickenburg, major hot spot. Storms will roll off the rim, the like Mogollon rim through here, and they generally will come southwest. Sometimes they die out before they hit Phoenix, but almost always a storm still makes it to Wickenburg. I don't know why, but it just does. There's all these mountains here. So this general area is really good for storms. The places to shoot, though, are a little bit tougher. You can try to go north. I know that this Congress, there's an overlook up here that's epic, and I've never been up there because I've seen a couple other of my friends go up there. I feel like I don't want to copy them, but there's a great overlook. Along this road here, Morristown, there's some places to shoot, and I'm trying to remember the year I was out there. I think it's 2014 with the cool. Yeah, this is generally around that area, Morristown. I just pulled off the side of the highway. There's cactus. Here's a good shot I went on a dirt road, and I got a bolt hitting the ground and all kinds of stuff. So there's definitely some areas out there. There's this little road you can drive down that has some places to shoot. In this area over here too, if there's anything out here, right around in here, there's some good stuff, some good spots. But like Wickenburg is just, it's a real hot spot. So if you can get storms coming through there and you can get there in time, it's a pretty great area to shoot storms if you can find a good road or something. And it's tricky, very tricky. Yeah, gotta nose. And I haven't been up to this overlook. I think it's right around. Well, I don't know where it is. Probably more at the top. But it's not Yarnell, so it's not all the way up. Oh, here it is. Valley Overlook right there. So someday I'll go up there probably. It's nice because they give you, it looks like you can turn around right here, so you can turn around and go back towards it. So that's a real hot spot. Now up north, of course, I'm not going to go into too much up north because I don't go up there as much, but the Grand Canyon is great. Grand Canyon, of course, you are there to shoot a storm. It's one of those places that's really tough because if you get it, fantastic. If you don't, you missed everything all day and you got up there for nothing. But was it 2016 that it paid off? Or 2017? I think 2017. 2017, I finally got stuff up there. Really hard to do, to get it timed right, but I finally had a great day with like a sunset storm with this incredible bolt on the far side, and then another storm rolled in after dark and went into the canyon. Finally got some lightning there, and I think was it earlier in the year there was one other storm. Yeah, so I was there for another day and got a nice little storm dropped in some lightning and kind of finally paid off. So that is one thing that you kind of really like. For me, I'm always looking for models that are showing me what I want there. A storm coming from the north side down to the south or something, or at least down over or moving from west to east because I like to set up on this side. So that's pretty tough. It's Arizona gets storms everywhere, so kind of talking about like all the hot spots is a little crazy, but there's definitely great storms that happen up there. It's just a longer drive, and for me to go all the way up there means I might miss a dust storm hitting Phoenix or something, which has happened when I've taken long drives. So that's kind of my I think kind of like overall view. I'm going to do a video, like I said, for my Patreon page later in like a week or so, where I'm going to show some of my favorite like actual locations around, like maybe like my top 10 locations to shoot around the state. Places with great overlooks where there's a lot of good storms, and you can generally get good photos there. Maybe I will see you there at some point because you will go to the same place I am going. But if you want a little more of a detailed kind of thing, you can subscribe there. And I need to do some more tutorials for there, but I have my kids are not in school, of course. No kids are pretty much in school anywhere, and so I am taking care of them during the day while my wife is still working at our church, and so I'm generally doing that, trying to finish a little bit of editing and doing some other stuff. So tutorials have been a little bit far from my mind. So this has been kind of nice because it's a little more impromptu and just unplanned, and like, let's just talk and have fun. So I'm gonna try to do some more stuff for that. Hopefully I'll be able to chase soon, in a couple, like in May. May gets here, hopefully we'll be able to chase. So but yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else on here that I'm thinking of, like, or I'm missing. There's obviously, up here it can be really good, but I generally, most of the season stick to the southern half of the state just because it's flatter. There's just it's more active and stuff. When you get up north, you can get great shots at different places. I mean, I was trying to find the shot, the other day. This was near before Camp Verde, just pulled off the highway. Beautiful rolling hills and stuff up there, and so it's not like you can't go up there and get anything good. Sedona, obviously, I don't get a lot of stuff up there, but some people have gotten just incredible shots in Sedona. But again, it's one of those places you gotta kind of go and plan to be there because you aren't going to be able to get in and out of there as fast as you might want. I think this was from like an overlook looking into Sedona one night. So on the way to the Grand Canyon, definitely beautiful places like the Salt River Canyon where you can get lucky. And obviously if you go to the Grand Canyon, don't get a storm, you can still get a beautiful sunset. Yes, let me look up Portal real quick. I know I've been there. In fact, I have a friend who lives in Paradise. Oops. Let me remember where this is. Oh yeah, that's on the east side. I've either driven through there once, because I have a friend who lives in Paradise, a meteorologist. But if I've been to Portal, it's been once. Because I think I literally think my kids and I came down 9, went through here, and drove out to right around here, and then turned around and went back because, I don't know, it was too high or something. But obviously, stunning areas and views up there. I mean, do you live there? Yeah, very committal. That's my problem. Although, not that I'm going to go and talk about other stuff, but sometimes in the monsoon or late transition season, Lordsburg, southwest New Mexico, man, it is superb. Was it 2017 that I was out there? Yeah, so 2017, we had transition event where I am basically, here's like north of Lordsburg a little ways, supercells out there. This was around here, Steins Road Forks, where I was getting some good lightning. This is past Lordsburg. This was way down. That lightning shot was way down south of Separ, I think. This whole area can be magnificent. So I know that I've been really close. Like, I didn't post many of these, but there was a little bit of because this is real nasty, like lightning photos. But there was a little bit of like a little land spout, possible tornado, because this is a supercell wall cloud. It was spinning pretty good. That was just right over. That was just right off of here. So I've been out here chasing a little bit. So you're right. Portal's definitely committal, but I know out here is beautiful because I can't remember what road we came down. Maybe it was 80. But I stopped right around here and did a time lapse over the valley, and you could see everything. So if you're here with a good storm, it'd be great. But for me, if I'm going to be out here, I'm probably chasing storms that are moving east not west, because I want to get them coming at me. So generally the storms in Arizona are moving west, and so I don't get out there very much. So, but there's so many places, you guys. Arizona's a very underrated for storms. People that chase tornadoes and supercells, obviously Arizona's not really on their map, but for people who love storms and lightning and dust storms and photography, there's not, I mean, it's almost hard to beat it other than chasing supercells and stuff, because we have gorgeous land. I mean, this is a shot over the Rincons this year from a exit on the interstate, and you have clear views of mountains, and you just get lightning strikes hitting them. So it's a beautiful state. This was east of Wilcox, just beautiful. I mean, look at this beautiful just desert out there and stuff. I mean, Arizona is a wonderful, wonderful place to chase, and there's so many. And so if you want to start chasing here, you got to start chasing, and then kind of find your cool locations and learn where the hotbeds are, basically, like me. So, yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. I think that's the end, and I might try to I'll probably start doing these again, maybe Monday next week. Try to figure a new topic. If anyone has a topic they like, send me an email, or you can comment on this. I think I'll see it later. I don't remember if this is going to go to private or not, but I probably won't do that. I'll probably leave it up. But post a comment, send me an email. If you sign up for Patreon, you can send me a message there. But I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you again. And I'm going to stop the stream with the...